Previously in Isabel's life. I spent a year working and saving as much money as I possibly could, but in the process of doing this, my mental health really suffered because I wasn't living in a way that I felt passionate about, and my spark for life just really truly wasn't there. Everything that I used to find joy in, I just couldn't even do anymore. So I decided I needed to take life into my own hands, and I got a couple jobs in Asia, and I bought a ticket and packed up my bags and decided to leave. And this was terrifying, but I know it was the right path for me because it felt good inside, and it felt like I was finally doing the things that I feel passionate about and living the way that I feel called to live. So here I go, and welcome to my new life. Good morning, my friends. Today I'm going to show you my morning routine that I've been doing pretty consistently throughout the past 3 years. Of course, it's like evolved over time, but this practice can be done anywhere in the world, and it doesn't require really much of anything, and that's why it's so sustainable, because I travel a lot and I'm living in a variety of different places all the time. So it's really nice to have something that you do every day that can really ground you and make you tune in to yourself and your inner truth. Pretty consistently throughout the past 3 years, I have been waking up around 6 a.m. This is mostly due to the fact that I'm usually living with a lot of people, so it's the only time I can be alone and with my thoughts. I like to start out every day writing because it helps me to get all the junk out of my head so I can make some space for creativity. It also really helps to organize my thoughts and become a little bit more present. I'll usually drink water and write for about, I would say, 30 minutes to an hour. Sometimes, though, I do get bored and do this, but we're all human and we can't be perfect all the time. No matter where I am in the world, I really enjoy starting my day with coffee. It's not necessarily that I need energy, but I love the act of sitting with something warm and being present with the people around me. I've gone through phases without caffeine, and my overall consensus is coffee makes life just a little bit more fun. Today I went down by the river and did my yoga practice. I've been practicing yoga since I was 15. I started in high school, and I just really loved the way it made me feel afterwards. It was kind of my first introduction to something a little bit more spiritual. It gave me a reason to live more intentionally, and also I remember for the first time becoming more self-aware, and especially more aware of the relationships with the people around me. I started to put more energy into the relationships with my siblings and my friends. And as the years went by, there were times that I wasn't really in the right place mentally to practice. For a while in college, when I was very depressed, I would force myself to do these really hard yoga classes and workouts, but my body did not want this. Since I wasn't listening to my inner truth, I eventually got really severe burnout. I literally didn't have the motivation to do anything in life. Even talking to people was way too much for me. I think this can go for all aspects of your life. If you consistently force yourself to do something that your body doesn't want to do, eventually you will crash. I've learned over the years our bodies are a lot smarter than we realize, and we need to create the space in our head to really listen to them. Right now in my life, I definitely don't do yoga every day. I use yoga to become more present with myself, but there's also lots of other ways to become more present that don't really involve exercise, such as meditation, walking, pranayama, or any creative activity where you're in that moment. During my practice, I try to pay attention to linking my breath with every movement. This helps me to stay more present. Many times my mind tries to wander off. That's just really okay. I'm at a beautiful place right now with my practice, and I'm really grateful to have found something that I truly have a lot of passion towards. I'm going to tell you guys a little story about when I was 17 living in New Zealand up in the mountains in a yoga ashram. I feel like this was the last time I was truly happy and connected to myself, and this was 3 years ago. But I remember sitting there in meditation, and one of the swamis said, "Now is the time to set an intention for your life." And I remember the first thing that popped in my head was, I am filled with love and creative energy. And it's crazy because even 3 years later, I feel like that intention is just still so prevalent in my life because I do want to bring more love and creative energy into my body. And doing yoga is a really good way for me to access this energy. After sweating quite a bit, I took my morning shower in the river. I've heard a lot about the positive ions that are active in running water, and let me tell you, I definitely feel this. My parents' farm, there's a river running through it, and for a couple years now, every time I go out there, I'll swim in that river, and it just makes me feel so at peace and connected with nature and connected to myself. It really brings me back into the elements almost. After yoga, I'm quite hungry, and in an ideal world, I start my day with my favorite food, which is fruit. If I'm in a tropical area, this will be papaya, mango, banana. But if I'm back in the Pacific Northwest, in the summer, I'll eat tons of berries, apples, peaches, bananas, and figs. Fruit makes my body feel so light and energized. I feel like I can take on the world after eating a bowl of fruit. When I was trying to save money this past summer, and even the past couple of years, I ate a lot of oatmeal, which is also a great thing that I love to have in the morning. I guess I just honestly love carbs. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for listening and watching to this little morning routine. I hope you found it enjoyable, and yeah, I hope you're having a good day. See you later.